Oligopoly in Arabic means احتكار القلة. So a good example to study oligopoly is the telecommunication industry or telecommunication market in the United Arab Emirates. So as you see, we have two dominant firms which are called Etisalat and Du, offering internet and call services in the country. So we have 5 questions.
Judge whether the telecommunication market in the UAE is characterized by an
Oligopoly.
oligopoly structure.
Okay, so do you know, again, telecommunication market in the UAE is called oligopoly. Oligopoly.
Only two
احتكار.
companies.
We call telecommunication market as oligopoly. Why? Explain in details why we call telecommunication market as oligopoly, not perfect competition, not monopoly, not monopolistic structure. So to answer this question, you need to show evidence that telecommunication market is oligopoly. How to show evidence? Try to bring characteristics of oligopoly. See now the answer with Rashid al-Naqbi. This is the answer, the short answer for the first question. Rashid al-Naqbi.
An oligopoly is a market structure characterized by a few dominant firms such as Etisalat and Du. Products may be homogeneous or differentiated. Both Etisalat and Du produce similar products with slight differences. The behavior of any of the firms is an oligopoly depends on others.
Okay, so why we call telecommunication market as oligopoly? Number one, because we have only 2 firms or a few producers. So this is the first condition to call a market as oligopoly, when we have a few producers such as Etisalat and Du. Now for the product, sometimes for oligopoly, maybe homogeneous, such as the producers of oil, crude oil. So they are producing the same oil. So oil produced by Kuwait or Qatar or UAE or Iraq or Saudi Arabia, similar to each other. So the product is homogeneous. Sometimes the product is differentiated. The same product, but with slight differences. So I think, if do you know, I wanted to apply for internet services. So I asked Etisalat and also I asked Du. I found slight differences. So the conclusion, Etisalat offers a bit cheaper than Etisalat. Du offers a cheaper service than Etisalat. But Etisalat offers comprehensive services than Du. So I selected Etisalat because with internet services, they offer land phone. So I prefer to have land phone with the internet as one package. So see here, it is sort of slight differences, the same call services and internet, but slight differences. Maybe the differences in the impact of advertising, impact of the quality, impact of customer services. Okay. And now you can call a market as oligopoly if the behavior of one firm depends on the behavior expected from another firm. So see here, Etisalat designed the price per unit according to the prices set by Du. If Du increase or decrease the price, there will be immediate action from Etisalat, because each one tries to have the same market share in the market. So in this case, definitely we call telecommunication market as oligopoly. Why? So what is the summary? A few producers, in this case, two producers, Etisalat and Du, the same product, internet and call services, with slight, simple differences. And the behavior of one company depends on the behavior expected by another company. So sometimes they go to collusion, to tawata, collusion, or collude. So they try to cooperate with each other to build one strategy, implicitly or explicitly. Okay, let's go to second equation with insaf.
According to the number of mobile subscribers, predict the concentration ratios of
Okay,
Etisalat
so
and
what's the meaning in Arabic of concentration ratio?
تركيز
Yes, again?
تركيز
Yes.
يعني نسبة التركيز.
Yes. يعني in very easy way, the percentage of its share in the market. The percentage of its share in the market. For example, Etisalat takes 60% of the market. Etisalat sells to 60% of customers, while Du sells to 40% of the customers in the UAE. This is called concentration or share market, or market share in the market. So again, Insaf.
Predict the concentration ratios of Etisalat and Du in the telecommunication market in the UAE. In addition, justify why the industrial concentration increased the rate of technological advances.
So now this question has two parts. Calculate the concentration ratios for two companies, for Etisalat first and Du second. And the second part, concentration ratio or industrial concentration increases technological advances. Why? Let's see the answer. So see here, I wrote the answer into two parts. Let's start with the concentration ratio, how we calculate it. Let's go to Insaf.
All right. So the connection ratio of Etisalat and
the concentration ratio.
Yeah, the concentration ratio of Etisalat in the telecommunication market in the UAE equals 58%, which is like 10.54 divided by 18.28 multiplied by 100. It means that the concentration ratio of Du equals 42%. Unlike small firms...
Just a moment. So I got this information from the report of the case study. So people who subscribe in Etisalat, around 10 million persons who has mobile services. The total number who subscribe in the whole UAE market, around 18 million, because some people has more than one line, one number. So mobile service, some people has two line or three numbers. For this reason, you see here, it is a huge number. So what is the concentration ratio of Etisalat? 10 million divided by 18 million times 100 equals 58. So 100 minus 58 equals 42. This is the concentration ratio of Du. So see here, if we talk about, for example, the concentration ratio of Hyatt Regency as a hotel in hotel market in the UAE, it will be less than 5%. Because we have too many hotels. If we talk about concentration ratio of Owais who produces tomatoes, it will be less than 1%. But in oligopoly or telecommunication industry, since we have two companies, the market share divided between them. So it's not necessarily 50-50. Sometimes the concentration ratio of a company may be 70%, another company 30%. But this is the example. For me, I didn't expect DO will take such high concentration ratio as 42. I thought it will be around 30% according to my notice. Let's go now. Why the industrial concentration leads to technological advances? So Etisalat and DO adopts a new technology, while other firms in other markets cannot follow technological advances similar to Etisalat and DO. So why? Let's see the answer. Insaf.
So unlike small firms, most large firms engage in research and development (R&D). When research and development expenditures are considered as a percentage of sales, firms in industries with high concentration ratios spend more on research and development than firms in industries with low concentration ratios. Technological advances stem from expenditures on research and development.
Okay, so see here, if Etisalat allocate 5% of its sales to research and development, so see here, research and development, R&D, are the base for technological advances. To adopt a new technology, you need first to make a research and development. So as you have lab, as you have staff, spend time and money to adapt a new technology. So we cannot suddenly jump to a new technology. So if Etisalat spends 5% of its sales, since the total sales will be billions of dollars, so 5% will be a good amount. They spend it for research and development. For this reason, since they can spend a good amount of money for research and development, they can increase technological advances, because technological advances depends on expenditure on research and development. But small companies, they cannot spend a good amount of money to develop. They cannot spend money on research and development, so they cannot follow technological advances. Let's make, to catch the point, let's make comparison between Salem restaurant and McDonald's. So I have a small restaurant in Sharjah, so I cannot allocate $1 million for research and development. So I don't have opportunity for technological advances. While McDonald's is an international company, they have a huge amount of sales around the world. So if they allocate 5% of their sales for research, they can benefit from technological advances. What is technological advances? It's not necessarily always as a new machine, maybe it is a new recipe, a new style of advertisement, a new program, a new platform, electronic platform. So all these called technological advances. So concentration ratio means high sales. So if we cut 5% of our sales to spend for research and development, we have strong base for technological progress. Let me go to Maryam Al-Ali. Maryam Omar.
Yes, sir.
Maryam Omar, could you read this question for me?
Evaluate the following statements in the telecommunication market in UAE. The behavior of Do depends on the reaction it expects of Etisalat.
Okay, so see here in this question. The behavior of Do depends on Etisalat. The behavior of Do depends on Etisalat. It is right. So see here, if Etisalat decreases the price and Do did nothing, that means Etisalat will take all customers. So if Etisalat decreases the price, Do will do the same immediately. So the behavior of Do depends on the behavior of Etisalat. Let's read the answer. Let me go to another name, Mayar. Mayar is absent. Mayar is absent. Let me go to Alia Limheri.
Yes,
Alia, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So could you read the answer?
Since the statement is true, since two firms, Etisalat and Do, are operating in the telecommunication market in the UAE that has a
Oligopoly.
structure, Do must form a strategy based on the actions it expects Etisalat to take. This leads to a large amount of
Interdependence.
among the firms, Etisalat and Do in the
Oligopolistic
industry of the telecommunication market in the UAE.
Okay, so what is the idea here? So we have two independent companies, Etisalat and Do. And the market is called oligopoly. So now Do must build a strategy based on the action it expects from Etisalat. So if Do did this style, and by the way, Etisalat would do the same. Etisalat will design a strategy depends on its expectation from the behavior of Do. So that will lead to sort of similarity of their policies. So their policies will be similar to each other. So that is called interdependence. What's the meaning of interdependence? الاعتماد المتبادل. So as they are behaving on one strategy, think about this, as they are behaving on one strategy. So in the end, Do, or let's say Etisalat, will not cut their prices. Why? If they cut their prices in the aim to steal customers from Do immediately will cut the prices similar to Etisalat. So both of them will lose money. So in this case, they will not touch the prices. They will not touch the prices. If Etisalat enters into a new project to develop the technology, assume Etisalat builds a new project to develop the technology, internet with high speed, will follow Etisalat. So they behave according to one strategy, one policy to control the whole market. So do you know they both of them work in the market as they are monopolistic. They are oligopolistic. I mean, they are two independent firms, not one firm, but their behavior shows sort of monopolistic behavior. Let's go to Uwais with a question number 4.
Yes, sir. Explain your view on why the telecommunication cartel's effectiveness might be undermined during the COVID-19 pandemic, but strengthened during an economic expansion in the UAE.
Okay, so what's the meaning of cartel?
So it's like a number of firms that cooperate or collaborate on prices.
Well done. So see here, I can call some countries producing and exporting oil as cartel. This cartel is called OPEC. So what is OPEC? It is a group of countries exporting, producing and exporting oil. So they set an organization called OPEC. They sit together and discuss and agree on production shares for each one. So they make an agreement between them to control oil market. So this is called cartel. So also now, Etisalat and may go into a cartel. See here, explicit cartel is illegal. Explicit, clear cartel is illegal because the government or Etisalat authority wants to increase the competition between two companies. But what they do, if explicit or clear cartel is forbidden according to the law, they do implicit cartel. So sort of agreement under the table. So what I mean under the table, sort of agreement. So Etisalat says indirectly, please don't touch my share. Say, yes, I will do. And also, please, the other firm should not touch my share. So this is sort of cartel, but implicit, not clear, under the table. Maybe the word under the table is dirty. So it's better to say implicit agreement, اتفاقية ضمنية. So the cartel among, or the agreement, clear or unclear, explicit or implicit agreement between Etisalat and becomes effective during expansion, but it becomes weak during COVID-19. COVID-19 means there is a recession. Let's see the answer. So why is the cartel is weak or not effective during COVID-19? And the second part in blue, why the cartel becomes stronger during expansion. So let's go to Uwais, the first part.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, the overall level of economic activity is contracting recession, which also has the effect of lowering or slowing the demand for telecommunication services. Individuals and business firms have lower income during the pandemic. Under these circumstances, there would be a great incentive for members of the cartel to lower prices.
Okay, see here what happened during COVID-19 pandemic. The level of economic activity decreases. Our income decreases because of shutdown, lockdown, restriction. So most companies don't perform as usual. They perform less. They sell less. Unemployment increases. So in general, income earned becomes lower than before. So that will make demand for internet and call services become less because we don't have enough money. So now Etisalat and each one separately will try to give offers, special offers to customers to encourage them to purchase more services. Maybe you noticed Etisalat and spends money and efforts to attract more customers, to upgrade the services during the pandemic, because they are afraid their profit will become less. And actually, they earned the profit, but less than before. So since they have incentive to lower their prices, or to give lower prices, or to give discount, or to spend more on advertising, so that will increase cost. So under these circumstances, the cartel becomes weak. So during the pandemic, during recession, each one try to offer more to attract more customers. So that will weaken the agreement between them. It's different than during expansion. Expansion called boom, economic boom, meaning expansion. What's the meaning of expansion? The increase in the level of economic activity. So companies in general sells more, hire more, always.
By contrast, an economic boom is likely to keep the cartel stronger than ever since the demand for its products is rising, and member firms will find it easier to continue to adhere by their cartel agreements.
Okay, so during expansion or economic boom, customers will have more income. Their demand for telecommunication services become more. So demand is increasing on telecommunication services. So that gives opportunity to the two players, Etisalat and to keep cartel agreements, to keep the agreement between them, to control the market, to earn more profit from this market. Let's go to the last question. Insaf. Khalid, let me ask whether Khalid is available. Khalid, where are you?
هلا دكتور.
كيف حالك?
لا طيب دكتور.
So Khalid will read the question and then Insaf will read the answer of question number 5. So see here, maybe today I spent more time to serve case study number 3. The video is recorded and I'm going to upload this video in LMS for review later. And on Thursday, I will explain case study 4. These two case studies are important to the final exam. Khalid, read the question.
Assess why the telecommunication industry in the UAE might be inefficient.
Okay, see here. So it's clear from the question, I'm saying that telecommunication market is not efficient. It is inefficient. It's clear from the question. See here, keep in your mind, I evaluate markets of different goods from the view of customers, from the view of the society. So I consider tomatoes market as efficient. I consider tomatoes market as efficient. As the degree of monopoly increases, the market become not efficient. Let's see why. So this is the answer why we consider telecommunication market as inefficient with insaf.
The telecommunication industry in the UAE represent one of the
Oligopolies.
oligopolies that are three reasons why oligopolies are considered inefficient.
Okay,
A,
so in general, oligopoly has monopolistic power, even it is less than Siwa, which is electricity company. Siwa is the only producer, so has more stronger monopolistic power. Now we have competition between two companies. If Etisalat arrange welcoming a third company, the degree of competition become better, but still we have oligopoly because we have three producers. So in general, oligopoly is inefficient because of three reasons. Let's start with the first reason, insaf.
Oligopolies produce where the price is greater than marginal cost. This output level is lower than the socially optimal level of output.
Okay, so see here, let me go to this. So see here, at the intersection between marginal revenue and marginal cost, we set the price for dirhams, which is more than the average total cost and more than the marginal revenue. If you remember, I explained what will happen in tomatoes market in the long run. Keep this in your mind. What will happen in tomatoes market in the long run? In the long run, we will produce at this point the minimum point of average total cost. So the price will be 3 dirhams. We will produce 4,000 units. So we will benefit from the size of the firm or the scale of operation. We will produce maximum amount of output, but in telecommunication markets such as Etisalat will produce less and charge higher price and get abnormal profit. While in tomatoes market, Awais will earn no profit, no loss. He will work at break-even point. Why? Because the price equals the minimum point of average total cost. So total revenue equals total cost. So again, I know this topic is quite complicated. So what is the idea? Etisalat charges higher price than average total cost. So they got abnormal profit. And the price is more than marginal revenue and marginal cost. While in perfect competition, the price equals marginal revenue equals marginal cost. But in oligopoly, the price is greater than marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is 2, but the price is 4. Let's go to second point with insaf.
Okay. So B, entry barriers in oligopolistic markets prevent new capital and other resources from responding to profit signals.
Okay, see here, Etisalat and do earn good profit, abnormal profit, extraordinary profit. If the market is perfect competition, other competitors will soon enter into the market producing more. But now, since we have oligopolistic market, سوق احتكار قلة, in oligopoly, there are strong barriers which prevent new competitors to enter into the market. So Etisalat and do will enjoy earning abnormal profit while other investors cannot enter into the market. So this is against the social welfare. Number C, with insaf.
C, product differentiation accomplished through advertising may lead to waste and efficiency if it serves as an additional barrier to entry.
Okay, so see here, Etisalat and do each one separately spends money, time to differentiate their product. Not they will not produce something strange. It is a similar product, telecommunication services. 5 minutes, I will be available. 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. So, for example, as they spend more efforts to differentiate their product, maybe through advertising, through points to serve customers, that will put additional barriers into new competitors. So if assume Salim wants to establish a new telecommunication company, I cannot make a quick recognition to my company through customers because I cannot compete strong companies with strong brand. So product differentiation and advertising put additional barriers to new competitors. For these three reasons, we say oligopoly is inefficient.